All right, continuing on with the Mystery Box 2. So, we saw another video like this, the Joan Collins collection. During this time period, nobody hotter, and when I mean hotter, I mean is on a career high. The Joan Collins with Dynasty. So, I guess they decided to dig up any of her films that have been around that they could push out and slap her name on. Because it doesn't even look like she's the main character in this, but called Lifeguard. I've never heard of that. I can't see, that's in cursive and I can't fill. By John, I don't know. That looks like Sam Elliott. I don't know who that chick is, but let's find out. If more lifeguards looked like Sam Elliott, okay, so it was Sam Elliott, more women would be in the ocean calling for help. That's a quote by Joan Collins. At first glance, it looks as if Rick Carlson has it made. He's bright and good looking. He's also the lifeguard on a stretch of California beach that has more than its fair share of tanned bodies and beautiful girls. But Rock is at the crossroads of his life. His friends and family are pushing him to get a real job, but at this point, Rick's not so sure what real is. All right. Sounds like a himbo movie. There you go. Lifeguard. Pinky Poo. Don't think this was a rental. Sure doesn't look like one. Looks like in good condition. All right, let's see here. John Wayne, Susan Hayward, The Conqueror. Beta Hi-Fi. That's exciting, right? Howard Hughes presents? He directed? Before, all the weirdness? No, Dick Powell did. Maybe he just financed it. The Conquistador. John Wayne tackles some of his most unusual roles as he portrays the Conqueror, Genghis Khan. Come on. Really? In a lavish period epic seldom seen in this country, produced by the legendary Howard Hughes, this 1953 release marked the directorial debut of Dick Powell and featured a cast of thousands, period costumes recreating 12th century China. So John Wayne is playing a Chinese warlord. And an international cast that includes the Duke and Academy Award winner Susan Hayward, plus Angus Moorhead, I've heard that name, Pedro Armendariz, sorry Pedro, and William Conrad. This film was so loved by Howard Hughes that he removed it from the market after its initial release. What? This film is so loved by Howard Hughes that he removed it from the market after its initial run. Only since the settlement of the Hughes estate could this exciting Eastern Western be shown. He liked it so much he tucked it away? Sometimes I read these things and I'm just like, what? There you go. The Conquistador. Well, I mean, if it's that big a deal, maybe I need to watch The Conquistador. It doesn't look like a natural film I would be interested in, but okay. This one looks interesting to me. The Stuntman. Let's see here. Peter O'Toole, Steve Railsback, and Barbara Hershey. Well, I mean, at least those are people I've heard of, right? Alex Rocco, we've talked about him before. What do we think this is about? Well, of course, I'm a stuntman, dear boy. Let's see. 1980, a milestone film that defies categorization. I like that. The Stuntman is at once a sinister comedy, an action-adventure, a fascinating behind-the-scenes glimpse at the world of movie making, and a visual, startling exploration of the nature of reality and illusion. The problem I'm having trouble over there is Number one, this print is small. Number two, there's a light shining right on that. Steve Railsback stars as the mysterious fugitive who stumbles into a movie location where a flamboyant director is recreating the World War I action epic. The fugitive becomes a stuntman who doubles for an actor who plays an American flyer posed as a German soldier who is a fugitive. Okay. There's a lot of words there strung together, make it a little confusing, but you know what? That sounds interesting. Look at that. Now, I didn't rewind this tape, and I should have, because this box, some of these I've rewound. What is? Some of these that I have rewound, in the middle of rewinding, the tape just breaks. They're brittle. So hopefully this is still usable. So what we got here, funny box. The Red House. Oh boy, there's a name, right? What can we see here? Directed by Delmer Daves. Black and white. All right, 1947. A lot of strikes I'm seeing. Hollywood Home Theater presents the finest motion pictures from Hollywood, past and present. So this is nothing? We don't get to know what the movie's about? All right. Well, we'll put that in the mystery pile. And look, it's an even bigger mystery. The Bubba Knitz is gone. But it says Red House. I like our chances that Red House is on there. Too bad we don't know what that is. Is there anybody left who cares? Flashburn. A new kind of revenge from the author of Death Wish. Yeah, right up my alley. I'll check that out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to read this, huh? Flashburn. I can't read any of that. Oh, jeez. Well, hopefully at home you can see that. I can't, and this lighting and the way it's bouncing off of there and how small it is, I've got almost no chance off of that yellow print. I mean, I can read a few words, but none of them make sense to me. Fear and a handful of dust, based on the book. So there you go. That looks like Powers Booth, but I don't know, because I see Steve Canale, Karen Carlson. Does that say Malkin? Or that could say Marcus. No, I'm going to stop trying to read that. But I'd be interested in that. Uh-oh. Trying to open it, and apparently it's a topper. This thing is wedged in here pretty good. There we go. Another one I didn't rewind. There's the rental sign. And it's media, so there's a good chance I rewind this, it breaks. That's why I use a rewinder, because if it breaks in the machine, then I got real problems. Know what I'm saying, G? Anybody watch the new version of Shogun? On whatever channel that was on? Hulu, I think? Look at that. The original Shogun. Remember that guy, Chamberlain? He was in everything during this time period. He was the king of the miniseries or weekly movie, television, whatever you want to call whatever that genre was. A 2-hour feature-length version. Okay. I thought Shogun was a TV movie. I don't know. It's got the fun flap. Shogun, let's see. A modern masterpiece set against the magnificent background of feudal Japan. Shogun stars the cinematic. That doesn't say cinematic. That says charismatic Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune. I'm sorry. This is a special 2-hour feature-length version of the landmark television miniseries. Chamberlain plays Blackthorn A shipwreck captain, navigator who becomes a samurai knight. I don't remember him becoming a samurai knight in the new version. Maybe my comprehension is low, but I would watch this. I've never seen this. Oh, we got a little pamphlet too we get to look at. Let's see. Looks like we got a little butthole sticker. Maybe this was rental. I don't know. What does that say? 1980. And we got a little book. Let's see what we got. Oh boy, this is a fun little book, huh? Look at that. Saturday Night Fever, Paper Moon, Star Trek the Motion Picture, Barbarella. Star Trek TV series. Remember those volumes I showed in another video? Well, here's where it comes from. Volume 1, The Menagerie, Part 1 and 2. That was in the middle of the first season and a reworking of the original pilot that didn't get picked up. Amok Time, Journey of Balance, Balance of Terror, The City on the Edge of Forever. Yeah, so these were obviously just random episodes stapled together, so you'd go for it. Lady Sings the Blues, I've heard of. Emmanuel, The Joys of Woman. The Joys of a Woman. Uh-huh. What does that mean? Oh, look at that. Does that mean rated X? Paramount is selling rated X? I hit the tripod, sorry. Catch 22, Marathon Man, heard of that. Bloodline, maybe. Foul Play, great movie. I love Foul Play. American Gigolo, I think, is overrated. Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. You know, actually, I remember seeing that in the theater and loving that. But, I mean, what was I at that age? 7 or 8 or something? Something like that. I loved it. Original King Kong. When I say original. 70s King Kong, because the other one was from the 30s, and I don't really jive with that, but whatever. Lipstick with Margot Hemingway, Anne Bancroft. And Muriel Hemingway. Sister, you probably know Muriel. The Shootist, we talked about that last video? Was that from the Mold tapes? Too bad about that. Don't Look Now, I don't know. Chinatown, everybody knows. We talked about North Dallas 40. True Grit. I've seen that version. John Wayne is doing some bad acting, in my opinion. In the updated one with Jeff Bridges, it was excellent, I thought. There's Going South, we talked about. Nashville, I don't know. Prophecy, I'm not 100% sure. Warriors, fun movie. Great idea. I mean, it's probably overrated at this point, but Shane, never a big fan. Never a big fan of The Longest Yard. I know Charlie Brown. Bon Voyage, but I don't have a clear memory of it. I know I've seen it. Charlotte's Web, that's a classic. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Grease, I know what it is, not for me. This is the 50s version, I'm thinking. 1953, yeah. 10 Commandments. Little Darlings. I have a 4K of that. It was, it was alright. Love Story. Whatever. Up in Smoke. I don't know if I've seen the full thing of that. 3 Days of the Condor. I just watched this Harold and Maude not too long ago. Boy, that was freaky. That's a wild movie. You should check that out. Downhill Racer, I don't know. Escape from Alcatraz. Very fine movie. One of Clint Eastwood's best. I like that one. King of the Gypsies, I don't know. The Bad News Bears. Come on. Everybody likes Bad News Bears, the original, not that Billy Bob Thornton dog shit. That they took sort of a modern day slant on, so he wasn't even cursing or anything. Looking for Mr. Goodbar, I've talked about that before, about how hard that is to find, but hopefully soon that won't be the case anymore. I hope they didn't strip out all the music, because that's my understanding of why it was being held back. If you take out the music, you're losing a big chunk of its soul. Heaven Can Wait. That's a great movie. I love that one. Warren Beatty. Players, I don't know. Starting Over, I actually watched. That was, I don't know. It was okay. Pretty Baby, we talked about that in the Mold episode. I know that. That was ruined. Death Wish. It's a good one, but again, I've told you I prefer 3 through 5. You know where I'm coming from. Romeo and Juliet. I mean, I know who they are. I don't know that version of it. Stalag? Stalag 17? That's a World War II, right? Yeah, POW. And then there's something I can't read there, but maybe some of you at home can pause the video and read that. Isn't that fun? All right, Shogun. I will enjoy watching that if it happens. Well, there's the first problem with the book. The book don't want to go in. By hook or by crook. Let's see what we got next. All right, I see that and I see El Cid. Is that because I'm a cretin? Cinematic classics. Anytime I see classic, I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see what that is. Charlton Heston, Sophie Loren had an impossible cast in the classic tale of the legendary 11th century Spanish hero whose courage on the battlefield and passionate love for the beautiful, I don't know what that says, Chimene, Shimini, are set against a sweeping panorama of medieval splendor. Okay, well, a pretty low probability I'm going to pull that baby out, especially since the tape won't come out of the thing. Come on, man. Give it up, bro. I don't know. We may not be getting this one. Putting up a good fight. There we go. Oh, look at that. Schnoodle is gone. It says it's ocean. I've never seen it like this, though. It's almost like that is. Yeah, look at that. I think that's superimposed on here. I wonder if this is a re-record. Huh. All right, well, we'll find out, won't we? I don't know how they would have re-recorded that. Because this thing looks old. And it wasn't really the technology to do that. Other than like deck to deck. But then you'd have to have another copy of the movie. Witness. I don't know if we've talked about Witness before. I feel like we have. Fancy Box. I'm having deja vu, but all right. He goes undercover in the Amish. I know we talked about this. I know we did. Hope I haven't accidentally shown the same ones. But this is the mystery box. Maybe they were repeats or something? I don't know. I feel like we talked about this. There's Witness. Harrison Ford. On some case or something. And pretends to be Amish. Hiding out. Midway, I feel like we talked about. But maybe we didn't. I don't know. It's got that Uncle somebody. What does that say? Uncle Gene. That's an interesting name. There's a phone number there. I can't read it. And there's an address there too, but I sure can't read that either. What does that say? Main Street. 202 South Main Street, but I cannot read the city. But I'm sure area code 219, I think that says, would tell me. Probably, who cares? Midway, the Battle of Midway, I'm sure that's what this is. Yeah, right there. Battle of Midway. It's World War II. You know where Midway is. It's Midway. In between Asia and the United States. This was a rental, because it's got Behind Rewind, it's got a 122, it's got a scanner, got a 122 here. I mean, this is a rental within an inch of its life. And the last one. And I gotta say, just looking over there, it's one of the best names for a movie I've ever heard. Because it's so close to something else. The Star Packer. What in the world could that mean? And John Wayne, 1934. I mean, jeez. What the fudge? The something of the Old West. Does that say Shadow and his gang are terrorizing an entire town? Marshal John Wayne is sent to end the reign of terror and to restore law and order. Well, that sounds right up my alley. But I mean, I don't know about whatever. Oh, because I started out upside down. Ding dong. Sorry. There you go. Star Packer. Got a few Indian problems there. And look at the price too, so I'm not expecting much out of this tape. But let's have a look. Yeah, look at this, that thin build where they did it SLP. Stinkers. Anyways, that's it for this episode of Mystery Box number 2. Dun dun dun. Bye bye.